Welcome to the Auburn Board of Health meeting. Today is December 7th, and it is 5:30 p.m. And I'd like to open the meeting. And the first item is to review the agenda, add or remove any items.
Yes, I just want to bring to your attention, this is a revised agenda.
Okay?
From when we originally posted. We've added a trash abatement request for 5:55. That's the only change.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a bill schedule today?
We do not.
Excellent. We have minutes to approve today.
We don't. We do have the minutes. We will have last month's meeting minutes for you at the next meeting. They
Okay.
have been completed. We just didn't have the copies made. So.
Sure. That's fine. Okay, we can go right into director's update.
So actually, just a couple of things for you. I wanted to just mention one more time because it's actually this week. We have the Public Health Flu Clinic. This one is going to be the flyers in your packets. It's going to be this Saturday, December 12th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this is going to be at the annual craft fair at the Auburn High School, 99 Auburn Street. This has been the town's craft fair. It's kind of grown over the past several years. They've been doing it, I want to say, this is their third year maybe?
Okay.
Third or fourth year, and it has grown in just sheer size. I think she has over like 80 vendors coming to this, and in the past we've done very well with having a flu clinic there, just because it's very easy. There's usually some high school games, like basketball, I think, in the gym, so we get the overflow from the families being there, and also just general walk-ins for the craft fair. So we are trying to encourage children 10 and up to get vaccinated. We have a lot of vaccine that we receive from the state that we want to get out there, especially before the holidays. And we do have a small amount of vaccine for adults. So our goal is to try to get rid of all of it. And this is a good, a really good opportunity where people are going to be, so we'll do our best. I believe Marion is going to be assisting at the clinic she has in the past. We also have PM Shearing, who has assisted us with several clinics earlier this year and has been, just wonderful. So again, this Saturday, December 12th, at the Auburn High School, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., we'll have the flu clinic.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to bring attention to. And then we also have, just go through. So in your packets, I also included, just in case, because I know when you're coming for the meetings at this time, it's dark. Now that the daylight savings has changed, I included a picture of the fabulous Mercury Shed. So I'm very excited about it. It's located in the rear of the town hall. They delivered it and actually built it on site within the past month. They have the universal sign on there, and my goal is to get some shelving inside there so that I can move all of the fluorescent bulbs that we have in the basement into this unit and be able to get a pickup, because we've been collecting obviously over the past year. The Mercury program that is coordinated through Wheelabrator, since we're one of the Wheelabrator communities, they came and picked up our button cells and mercury thermostats, thermometers, all that. They did their yearly pickup last week. And so the bulb pickup, I'd like to clear out the basement, but we got to just do it in a couple steps. I want to, get it all boxed up, and going forward, have this outfitted with shelves. So I'll be working on that, and I'll keep you updated on that. I just wanted you to actually see. I mean, it's literally brand new. So very fortunate to get that free through the Mercury Control Program. And then Central Mass Mosquito Control, they're very good at sending out the correspondence to make sure you as communities, because we are one of their Central Mass mosquito control communities, they inform us of whenever they're having the public meetings. So this is just the yearly calendar for 2016. Again, they meet monthly, and we get any decisions that they have, they forward us information all the time. They're very good. They send it to both us and the town clerk. So the town clerk, as soon as she gets it, she puts it right on the website. So that's just the routine information. I also wanted to let you know that we did receive, once a year, we get from the Mass Department of Public Health. It's, it's got a lot of information here, but it's the yearly cancer registry for the towns in Central Mass, in Massachusetts. So they include Auburn's incident rates, and wanted to just let you take a look at it. And if
Do they
you need-
note where we are, like if we are high or low on the scale?
So on the way they have it spec'd out, so they have all the types of cancers listed, and they have all the cancers listed, and then they'll have how many we had specifically in Auburn. They
Yep.
break it down through male and female, and then they'll do I think it's the incident rate, what in what they've expected to have, and then what we do have.
Okay.
And so sometimes that ratio is higher, and so that's going to be the percentage number, the way I interpret the results. Some are higher and some are lower. Anytime where there's a low number of incidents, obviously the percentage is going to be higher, because there's not that much to spread about.
Do they have us ranked like if there's a, say, Hodgkin lymphoma, does it say like Auburn is in the top 10% of the state for having people with Hodgkin's lymphoma, or do they just give us?
I don't see that
On
in this,
here,
this
but
specific
they might
report,
have
but they
something-
might have
okay.
it, right.
Okay.
I'm sure they probably have
That way they
all of
can trace
Massachusetts broken down.
trace the cancer clusters throughout the state and see where the high points
Right.
are.
So in the past,
Incidents per 100,000 or whatever.
Yeah,
it
exactly,
is,
yeah. So, all right.
so they do, I'm sure they have other graphs and so forth that we can access, if warranted. And I do keep those so that we have the
Okay.
years in past.
See if anything's going up or down.
Yeah, so I can certainly bring those to you if you'd like to review them, and, the nurses probably have a first-hand knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, this is 2007 through 2011. We're still looking at
Yeah, they haven't.
data that
Yeah,
goes
exactly.
back a
And the
few
fresh
years.
data.
Okay. So this column here, Ray,
Yep.
if it's 100 or less, it's 100 is the state average,
Yep.
if you would.
Okay.
Less than that is less than the state average. Higher than that is higher than the state average.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
some-
because here's
some-
the expectant and the observed. So. Okay.
And I notice where there's lower numbers, the percentage would be higher, because you don't have that many to
Yeah.
balance it out
Yeah.
on.
Thank you.
It's too much cancer,
So.
Always,
you know, it's a lot. All right, so that and that. I also wanted to bring to your attention, I believe I sent it out electronically, but it seems to be building support, the Tobacco 21 project, and movement across the state. So I just, again, I sent this email out to you. I just kind of wanted to keep you guys in tune with some of the information that we get. And I know in the past there's been some of the towns out towards Boston that have asked for you to consider it. And I think the board is still looking to see what's happening statewide.
They're actually I was getting calls every week in Westboro, and they stopped calling because now it's at the state level, and they're trying to push they're putting all their money towards the state now, and they're not going to go after individual towns. 80 individual towns out of 351, they almost got their, they're looking for their 25%, they're getting close. So, I mean, it's real close for 25%, and when the state saw other towns doing it, now Boston's thinking about it,
Right.
and the state goes where Boston goes.
Yeah.
So if Boston does go 21 towns, you're gonna watch the state go right with it, and then it'll be law. That's the same thing they did with the smoking inside the restaurants. It started that way. Worcester went, Springfield went, Boston went, and then the state went. So I think that's gonna, the individual, they're not gonna be going out looking at the little towns anymore. They're gonna go Boston. They're weighing in on Boston. If Boston goes, then it'll be real quick. The state will jump on that real quick.
And I think if there's that kind of support, you know, it's hard when the individual towns all have
Yeah.
different rules.
Yeah.
I mean, something as big as this, you know, I mean, if it's handled statewide, I have to say from a health standpoint, it's much easier when you're talking the same language with other towns, you know?
Well, it's the same thing when I owned the restaurant in town and they wanted to go no smoking. They came to us and they said, "Would you go non-smoking?" I said, "I'm going to lose my business. They're going to go to this one or this one, or they'll go into Worcester." So none of the restaurants in town wanted to go until Worcester went. That way we were safe because we all had small diners in town. So I can understand the same thing is towns are very leery because it's the infrastructure, it's the, you know, it's the business, and people are trying to be pro-business and they don't want to cut funds. Because if all of a sudden Auburn were to say, "Yeah, let's go 21," and then people are like, "All right, I'll just go to Oxford and get my smokes. I'll
Right.
go to Worcester, I'll go to Leicester," and then you're hurting your own businesses in town. If you notice on the map when they show the 21 towns, they're all in clusters. So you have, it's funny because Westboro is not, but all the towns around us are. You have Marlboro, Northborough, Hudson, Framingham went, Hopkinton, so that whole cluster right there, and almost and the lone holdout is Westboro, and then Shrewsbury's next to us, and they held out, and Grafton held out. So it's, you know, it's clusters of towns because nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to be that island
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere. So
I just
But-
wanted to kind of bring it to your attention because
Yep.
it seems to be now that, you know, Boston is considering it,
Yeah.
there may be some big changes
within
coming.
within 2 years, it'll be 21. There's no doubt.
And then this is just the, again, a notification that we get very routinely from National Grid. They send out public notification for for clearing and applying herbicides and maintaining their infrastructure. So again, we get these notifications throughout the year. Just wanted to bring to your attention instead of copying many pieces of paper for you.
I'm in charge of all the woods for Westboro, so I'm so used to that. I just kind of, there you go, all yours. All the right-of-way spraying.
Thank you. And finally, there was just wanted to bring to your attention, there was a fuel spill on the Mass Pike that occurred about a week and a half or so ago, that the Auburn Water District had some wells in close proximity to it. Auburn Water District has been working with DEP and all the state agencies to protect the wetlands, the wells, and just want to let you know that they've been wonderful at keeping us in the loop about what's happening. So I just wanted to pass along that information. I think those are, oh, okay. And I also wanted to let you know for, this is the time of year where we're sending out, wanted to let you know we've already sent out all of the food renewals. Those have all gone out. In the past couple of months, we had some discussion about seasonal establishments. Those have gone out, you know, to solidify that change that you wanted. And we have sent out the solid waste and the haulers. So for septic, trash, all the haulers in town. And I know we're working on the
We got tanning out.
others.
We have to be able to pool.
Yep, so Paula has been working with Eileen, because obviously this is her first year doing it. So we're trying to create kind of a more streamlined approach. We have already started getting in, the renewals back. So we're doing, I mean, I'm thrilled. Paula's doing a great job working with Eileen. Eileen's, kind of streamlining our spreadsheet so that we can have, easier access to make sure everybody's serve-safe, allergens up to date, what they're getting for permits, reviewing those, seeing if anything can be combined, or are we missing something, adding something. So I feel like we're in good shape for this time of year. I think in the past, we've sent them out more closer to Christmas, and that's tough in itself just because of the holiday and people in different frames of mind. So we feel like we've got to jump on it with stuff coming back in already. So hopefully we don't end up in the January meeting with a whole long list again of people that haven't paid and we're considering shutdowns. Feel like we're in a good spot right now, and I'll kind of keep you updated on that.
Just an FYI, I had the meeting on Thursday with the state, Wednesday with the state, that FIAC committee.
Oh, yes, yeah. How was that?
It's good. I mean, I only went because they were talking about the 2013 food code and what they
Yes.
want to move to. And poor Mike Moore, I think he's got so much going on. He was just lost because he said in February, the allergens are coming due. And I raised my hand. I said, mine was due last week, but I haven't done it yet. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, it came out in October 2010 that we had to have it done by February 2010. He said, are you coming across a lot of people? I said, I know in the town of Sutton, I forced everybody to do it in that first month. So now they're all trying to do it again. He says, oh, no, don't. We don't have a contractor yet. So let Eileen know to give everybody till maybe the end of January.
Are you talking like the 3 contractors you
Yes.
had before? So
Yeah,
they
you know what
don't
the
have-
problem with that was? Nobody was secured. So your credit card went out there was no securing of the credit cards. You know, if you go to like eBay or something like that, there's a little lock on the thing showing that it's a secure site. Yeah, none of those sites are secure sites. They're all educational, institutional sites. They weren't secure for credit cards.
Jeez.
So they're trying to find people who are actually secured. So he said, don't do it. Don't let anybody do it. He goes, give them some leeway. So
Okay.
if you could give them till the end of January before you make them do it, until they're supposed to send out a list.
I
of all
haven't. I've been going through them. I haven't found any.
A lot of people did it late.
Yeah,
Expired,
a
yeah.
lot of them are. I think the first one's expiring with the end of February.
Yeah,
So
because
they
what
might
happened
be
is in
safe.
that time we didn't have a lot of, because I was on the board then, we didn't have a part-time inspector. We had just Andy, and that was last on Andy's list, was getting people doing that. And he just told them, here, do it in February. So
Yeah.
this town's lucky. When I was doing Sutton, I made them do it right away. Do it now, do it now, do it now. So all mine in Sutton, every time I've been doing inspections the last month, they all said, hey, Ray, mine's overdue. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Wait. So,
Yeah, but I did notice a lot with the end of February.
yeah.
The
So that's good.
So
And
February of 16.
February of 16.
Okay.
So hopefully by then they'll have a couple different, you should get a list from Mike Moore. He should send out a list
I mean,
stating.
is the state thinking of sending, are they going to be notifying boards of health about that?
No.
I mean, unless you
No,
went to the meeting.
I went to the meeting.
That's fabulous.
They had
but
no
how
idea
would we
that
know?
they had no idea that there was ones already due.
Okay.
So
Actually, Eileen and I are working on something right now to try, because I brought that up to her today,
Right.
on how to track the serve safe and the allergen.
yeah.
Just when they're gonna be up.
Yeah, so the thing is now is anything since they come in the end of February, wait, let it go. The state should send out, you should get something from the state saying these are the ones we're gonna use.
I gotcha.
And you should be all set with that. Yeah, that was that threw me for a loop when they're like, oh yeah, well, yeah, they could have been hacked and everybody lost their credit card information. Like, great. They were, well, we had no money to do this and we were in such a rush that we just grabbed the first few people that we could do. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate that. All right. Well, we are at 5:48, or actually 5:49, and I'd like to open the hearing on the well request
Sure.
for 498 Rockdale Street.
Thank you. So we have, in your packets, you have a letter for a request for an existing well. The owner of the property for 498 Rochdale Street would like to maintain the existing well for irrigation purposes. That is the letter that Valerie Manfron submitted. And I do have a plan I'm going to just stretch out for you. Joe Goodman, Mr. Goodman is also a co-owner of the property.
Okay.
And he is here.
Yep.
Please join us, Mr. Goodman. So this is the approved septic design. Please feel free to sit. This is the approved septic design. I can tell you that within the past couple of months, the septic installation has gone in. The house is in the process of being rebuilt now. It's under construction. And it is in the same location. So all this area is area of wetlands, and Rochdale Street is down this way. So this property is located, if you were to come to the end of West Street, if you're parked right there and at the stoplight, this house, the driveway is directly across from West Street. So you come down the driveway, and then it's a shared driveway. There's a house straight ahead, and then there's 498.
Okay.
So the septic system has, the field has been installed, the tank is in place. We have not issued a certificate of compliance as of yet. There's still a connection to the house that has to be checked, and a new well has to be drilled. So the well has not been drilled yet.
That's the proposed?
Correct.
Okay.
This is the placement of the proposed well. The existing well
right next to the house.
is, right, exactly. Now, as you may recall, this is one, I know you're going to say, geez, I remember this from years past. This was, years ago, one that you had recommended that they move the well due to the close proximity. Originally, there was a septic system where you had approved an LUA. The LUA had a caveat on it that the board strongly recommended that a new well be drilled. Well, that house, you may remember Andy used to call it the House of Elvis. It was a house that was vacant for many, many years. And working with the AG's office, we were able to take that house down because of the structural instability. It was a very unsafe house. Actually walked inside of it and discovered with the building inspector that you could fall right through to the basement. So that house was taken down. Happy to say there is a new house that's being constructed in the same footprint. Mr. Goodman and Ms. Manfron are the new owners. They did submit a new plan. This was a plan that was updated by Tom Purcell, Purcell Associates. And so we are at the stage right now where septic system is in, existing well is in place, and the new well has to be drilled. Now, normally the well is drilled first, septic system's put in after. So, the owner will be, has a challenge of making sure that it meets the setback, obviously, for the septic system, because that's already installed, you can't move that. So he has to make sure that the registered well driller is going to put the well in the correct placement in meeting all the well requirements and the Title V requirements. So I wanted to just visually show you that and give you like a little bit of the background. And Mr. Goodman has also gone through conservation extensively for the wetlands that are present on the property, and really the next step would be for the new well. So I did invite the owner here if you had questions regarding you know, the existing well, the close proximity to the foundation, and why they want to keep that well.
So elevation's at 70 over there. Yeah.
So with the new well, we obviously,
Yeah.
we will get all the usual requirements. We'll get the well completion report.
Yep.
We'll get the quality, the quantity, and then once it's in, we would get the as-built from the engineer showing both the as-built
So that new well is
placement.
not yet there.
It's not.
I've already applied for the permit for the new well, and I have a guy lined up. You know, I'm hoping if I get the permit back within the next 2 weeks, it'll be completed. He has another job in Auburn, I think it's the end of next week that he was doing, and he was hoping to do both of them at the same time, so.
So there's one, I'll just tell one last piece for this. For the well permit, Mr. Goodman did apply for the well permit as stated. The only thing that we just need verification from the engineer is that there is no septic systems within 100 feet of the proposed
Yeah.
new well. So we just need that verification. We don't have it on this plan. This was the septic, but it also for the well. So we're just waiting for that verification. As soon as we get that, we'll be able to move forward on the well.
Is this a new septic tank?
It is,
Okay.
yes.
I mean, it's late. It's too late now. But what's the setback from the wetlands? I don't see a.
That,
I mean, it's in place now, and if
he had the,
I don't see the numbers here unless I'm missing
Mr.
something.
Purcell put in, let me just say here, the notes. Mr. Goodman went through conservation
Yeah, they've
separately
gone- yeah.
for all of their requirements, and so they have seen
Yeah.
this.
So I mean, if it's gone through conservation, they're the first thing they look for is wetlands anyway. So it was just curiosity. I see a 50-foot mark here, but I don't know if that's the C5 and C6.
Let me just see.
I mean, it's not a huge. I was just looking for the.
They have to, I don't believe that they've issued their certificate of compliance on
Yeah.
that because it's still under construction.
Mm-hmm.
So because we have, Mr. Purcell has the statement, was determined that the proposed construction is subject to the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act administered by the Conservation and DEP.
Okay.
So they had to go through conservation. We do have a copy of the order of conditions.
That's fine. I was
You'd
just
like to see
curiosity, just trying to figure out. No, if it went through them, I'm not
We
overly
do have an
worried,
order
yeah.
of conditions, that's correct.
Because sometimes we do, it goes to us and then it goes conservation, but if conservation's already gone through,
Oh, no, it's,
Yeah, then that's
no,
fine.
no,
That's
we didn't
fine.
release the plan until we
Yeah.
had it.
so 112 feet there, 200 plus to a butters system. Okay.
Here's the order of conditions.
Proposed.
Yeah, the proposed well, but it says 200 plus
Yeah.
to a butters SAS. What's their soil absorption system? So
You don't expect any barriers to the rig getting back down to that proposed site, do you?
Well, there was. I was initially gonna move it, and it seemed easier to just make a kind of like roadway for them to, because that was his initial concern. It was on a hill, and it was gonna be way up in the air. So we just dug out a chunk and stuck it in the back, so he's got like a 60-foot path to put his, that's about, I don't know, 15 to 17 feet wide, so he can pull his rig out there, put his outriggers on, and be able to drill that well without a problem.
All right, so you don't expect a problem reaching that site?
No.
Good.
That was
We've-
one of the things that, I had discussed with Mr. Goodman about, because now that the system is in and the field is there, the whole site's under construction, he's got, kind of a narrow area to be able to get the rig through between the tank and the field and be able to get to the back of the property, which is wooded.
without crushing anything. So. All right.
So the order of conditions was received from Conservation. I believe went through definitely at least 3 meetings that I knew of.
I don't know, I think it was more than that. I
Yeah.
think it was like 5, but yes.
So they have, I feel comfortable telling you, not speaking for conservation, but I feel comfortable telling you that he has gone through conservation
Okay.
review.
Oh, that's good. That makes sense. You see the conditions? You want to see the conditions or the impacts? All right. So, oops. Okay, so that's fine. I mean, we're not here about the new well anyways. We're here about, you want to keep the existing well as a, just to do to water your gardens and stuff
Yeah,
like
just
that.
irrigation and whatnot.
Okay.
That's it.
What kind of well is it? Do you know if it's a lined well or?
I
if
mean,
it-
it's a steel pipe coming out of the ground with the,
Okay. Alright.
metal, with aluminum cap on the top, but other than that, I have no clue what it
Is
is.
cap subsurface or right at the grade?
Well, it was, previously, it was about 18 inches above grade.
Yep.
Currently, right now, it's about 6, but we put stuff around it, like I put rocks around it,
Mhm.
and that's part of the reason why. I can expose it more so easily, it's just, I kind of put stuff there so nobody could hit it, basically.
Okay, no, that's good.
You know?
What's our well right for wellhead?
So with the grade, it's probably gonna be a foot or 14 inches.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the well regs here in a long time.
I had a copy of them a couple months ago.
About how, it looks like that's 10 feet for that.
How far from what? The
No,
house?
yeah, about how far from the house is it?
It's probably about 12 feet, maybe 12 to 15 feet from the house.
Okay.
I mean, I can get you an exact, I just didn't,
So I realize I do have them on my phone, I don't have them. So this is a picture of the house.
Okay.
I'm taking it from the location of where the field is. So
Mhm.
this is, yep,
Yeah.
so I'm standing right about here. The house is in the back. This again is looking this way at the
Okay.
field. You can see that it does have some seed on it. That was one of the concerns that I have,
So it
obviously
doesn't
going
wash
in.
away
Right.
with
This is a filter listed on top of the cover for the septic tank. There's some concerns here just because there's some cracking around there, but we'll get to that when
Yeah.
the time of sign off. This rock indicates where the well is to keep it protected. This is the wellhead.
Okay.
So it's really kind of flush with the ground, so it's not above ground.
Okay.
That's the septic tank cover that I was just showing you.
Yep.
So do you know why they filled up to the wellhead? Because the wellhead is really, it's flush.
I mean, he put a few rocks around there and it was dirt, it was dirt that was being moved around. It's not a finished grade as is, you know, everything is still, I mean, it's relatively close, but, you know, you're, depending on where you're located at, you're, 4 to 14 inches probably, give or take, depending upon where, for what the finished grade is gonna be.
Tank.
Tank and the thing.
And
so-
well.
Well, there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's under construction.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
site's under construction.
Mhm.
We wouldn't sign off on the septic, number one, until this
Yeah, that's all repaired.
tank is,
Is-
you
yeah,
know,
perfect.
fixed and,
What crack?
there's some cracking around the septic tank cover. I don't know what that is, but
I mean, I know he raised he put some, and it was precast, so I mean, I don't know if he put.
yeah,
I don't know what it is, but I know he put, I bought 2 spacers to lift up the cover. I think they're 6-inch spacers or something like that from, Wachusett, and then he put that on there, so it's probably just the cement to bind the two together.
might
But
be
I-
just some of the cement coming apart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can show it to you.
okay, all right,
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't
Okay.
notice
Yeah.
that, but yeah.
All right. What is our reg on the wellhead?
Um,
Is it, you said 14?
I can't remember, but I know.
I
it's-
know usually we, with a new well, we want to see a wellhead that's, 18 inches, 12 to 18
okay.
inches above,
Yeah,
just so it doesn't get impacted.
yeah,
That's a drinking water well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
where they want
Irrigation
to use this as an irrigation well.
Mhm.
I think you don't want to contaminate the aquifer either
No.
way,
yeah,
He's gonna be pulling essentially from the same aquifer.
yeah. Mhm.
So if you consider irrigation wells, which, in the past you have,
Mhm.
you can consider some requirements for
Yeah.
testing.
I think you've always done the requirements on the testing.
Yeah,
That's your baby.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that it is in the well regulation. I can check if
The
you'd
height,
like.
the height of the casing is specific, either if it's a dry spot or if it's a prone to flooding,
Right.
will vary the height of the casing.
I mean, I can tell you, in the past year, I have added another inspection, so that when the well is in and we get all the paperwork, I go out one last time to make sure that that wellhead is above grade.
Okay.
Because I've gone in the past and they've dropped them down into a manhole,
Mhm,
so
Yeah.
manhole is subject to flooding.
Mhm.
I remember one, not in this town, but I showed up and they had it in the middle of a driveway, which wasn't the approved spot,
Right.
and had it in a manhole. And so
Yeah.
now I go out, don't just rely on the paper, I go out
Yeah.
to do a final visual check.
Getting that rig
Exactly.
jacked down in there.
And
So.
especially where this is, that grade, that cover is at grade.
It's at grade right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't usually have a problem with the newer wells.
No.
With the newer wells, they usually have them at 18 to 24 inches above
Yeah.
grade. They're
All
not
the well,
usually-
all the well drillers know they have to.
Yeah,
so,
they're not
yeah.
usually a problem,
Yeah. The old ones, I mean, sometimes we have just some stone covered wells. We get some scary ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Irrigation only. Does any? So it's going to be coming up.
You are gonna have a registered well company coming out, so if you have, obviously they're gonna be drilling the new well. That company, if you are considering keeping that existing well, I would recommend having that registered well company make the changes that you would need,
Yeah.
and give us a well completion report on that one as well.
Where is now? You're going to use that for irrigation. Where is the pump going to be located, and where's the water line going to go for the irrigation? Because you can't have a water line cross the septic line coming out of the house.
Okay.
So if the septic line's coming out of the house, let me see this right here. So if the septic is coming out of the house here and your well is here, you can't have a line cross.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it would have to go under the porch area
Okay.
currently, because the line comes on the septic line comes in right on the side, and where it's located, it's on the other side of it.
Okay.
So it would have to come in from the what I'm calling the front of the house.
Okay.
It's the side, but
Yeah.
it's really where
Yeah,
the
because
front
I see,
was.
I mean, the new well is fine. It shows it to the back of the house. It looks like there's a good 30, 40 feet. There won't be any water crossing. That's fine. Just on the irrigation, I think any well, it doesn't say irrigation or drinking well. It just says any water line cannot be crossing the septic lines. So,
Okay.
okay.
What's the elevation of the septic tank?
I saw a 5 foot, well, no, that's a,
That's the
Well, you added two 14-inch risers?
No.
Septic tank?
I added to the manhole cover. He added I don't know 2 4 or 2 6-inch things. He lifted it up, 8 or 12 inches. I don't remember exactly from where you know, from the actual tank
Yeah.
itself.
So a lot of times for a viewing port, if they're, you don't want to be digging too much
Right,
of the
right,
soil out to get
I
into
just want to
them.
be sure that the top of that well casing is sufficiently
Above,
above the
yes.
top of that septic tank,
Yeah,
So the,
so that we don't have 3
the-
inches of topsoil on top of the
of it.
septic tank to keep the
Yeah,
well casing
exactly.
above.
yep.
So the, because there's a filter on the septic tank outlet,
Mhm.
there is, that cover that I showed you.
Yeah, the
It's
one-
required at grade, so
Mhm.
that the homeowner, when they hire a licensed septic company,
Come
can
change
come
it out.
Sure.
and maintain it,
Mhm.
clean and, clean the filter. And so that's going to be that cover that I showed you
Yeah.
at grade. The well head right now is flush with the ground. So if, again, if you're going to consider it, I would have that well head be at least, 18 to 24 inches above grade. That would
Mhm.
clearly.
So you just put a spacer and raise it up, right?
No, it's not a spacer, it's extending the wellhead.
Yeah, a
Above
coupling, I'm
ground.
sorry. So you put a coupling and then extend it up with something.
It would be, right, the
Whatever
registered
the-
well driller
Has to do
would
it, yeah.
pull that so that you'd have it above grade.
Okay.
I think what I'm hearing, the concerns from the board is that it's has to be higher than your septic tank cover
Yeah.
at grade.
Okay, yeah, no,
This, I also want to point, this is not the as-built,
Mhm,
No,
mhm.
Okay.
okay, yeah.
but I mean, realistically,
Yeah,
If
right
you
now,
are-
it's,
if you have a
you
wellhead-
could run a level across them right now, the way
Yeah.
that it shows in the picture, so, okay. Any other questions? Any other information to give us?
I mean,
Okay. I mean, it's all in front of us.
do you follow the pictures? Am I
Mhm.
explaining it enough to
Mhm.
go with the? okay.
Yep, no,
I guess we pretty much covered the evidence.
we
in
did
the
everything.
discussion. So
Yeah,
motion to
well,
close,
Motion to close, second the motion to close. How do you,
evidentiary and discussion.
I second, how do you
Aye.
vote? Aye, okay. Yeah, by the way, I'll show you that thing, we've been doing it wrong all along, so. Not wrong, just we've been adding extra steps we don't need to
Okay,
add.
okay.
So, okay, is there a motion on the table?
I'll present a motion to the board to approve the requested request to maintain existing well as an irrigation well with the following conditions. That there's a minimum of a 16-inch above grade for the well casing. That it, of course, meets all state and local plumbing codes. And that a 2-year Title V bacteria test is done on the potable well to be installed on the property. All work and modifications to the well to be done by a registered well driller.
And that's the motion.
That is my motion.
I second the motion. It is a roll call vote. Steve, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ray votes aye. So 2-0 to accept the request to keep the existing well for irrigation only. Okay?
All right, and I just want to make sure I have it. So we're going to have at least a minimum of a 16-inch
The well
wellhead,
casing, the well casing.
Casing.
well casing.
The cover is above the casing. So the
Yeah.
minimum of 16 inches above grade.
So the well casing, 16 inches at minimum.
Mhm.
And we're going to do a 2-year post-test for the
Every
drinking
2
water
year-
well.
every 2
Every
year.
2 years, okay.
The Title V bacteria testing on the potable well.
what does that mean? I don't understand.
You just gotta test your water from the house every 2 years, just to make sure there's no cross-contamination of
Is
the
that,
irrigation
is that
well.
normal? Oh, is that normal? Okay.
We require it. for-
Generally require that.
require it. Whenever there's a lot of the new systems going in, and when there's already 2 wells, what happens is you're going to be like she said, out of the same aquifer. So if there is a leak into this well here near the house, it's going to show up in your potable water. So we want to make sure that what you're drinking is safe.
Okay,
So
Especially
that's-
where it's so close to the septic system.
Yeah,
okay.
the irrigation well, and
Yeah.
they'll be going back into the aquifer.
So you don't care how high it is? I mean, if I go 2 feet, then
A minimum of 16.
Yeah, okay, all
So
right, you know. there's no-
whatever works for you
Okay,
on that.
all right.
So, Joe, just to for the drinking water well, so the new well that you're going to drill, okay, so once we get the information back from your engineer,
Yeah.
verifying that there's no septic systems within 100 feet of that proposed well, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So once you get that in, we go through, we get all the paperwork on it, we sign off. In 2 years from that sign off, you're gonna test it for a Title V scan, which will tell you, we can tell you what that is. And then 2 years after that, you're gonna test it. Board wants to ensure that you and your family, because they're allowing you to keep that irrigation well, they wanna make sure that that's not going to impact your drinking water well. So
Okay.
you're not gonna be testing the irrigation well, you're testing your brand new well.
Yeah, all right,
Okay.
I understand. So, okay, all right. I'll ask him what that costs. I don't know what the, I mean, well, I don't know what that costs.
We,
Yeah.
we can help you with
All
that.
right, yeah, I'll figure it out.
And that's, okay,
That's
beautiful.
fine.
Motion to close?
Second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Hearing is now closed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe. You have a great day.
Y'all have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Probably still cheaper to do the test than to change your filters every year because you're irrigating your lawn and garden.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna
Happy
just,
homeowner of a well and septic system
Yep.
myself, so.
Yeah.
we're all, those were all the pieces, right?
That's everything I had, yeah.
Okay. I just wanna make sure I have
Yeah, keep it all
the order
together.
of conditions.
All right, it is now 6:15. I'd like to open the hearing. Actually, is it a hearing? Yes, it's a hearing. A trash abatement request for 30 Silver Street. This is actually a continuance of 9/28/15. So,
Okay.
all right, so let's see. Okay, so this is one that came in and it wasn't completed, so we asked them to take it back and complete it, correct?
Right,
Okay.
so from September, you had, reviewed this request, and, at that time, the owner was requesting to dispose of the trash at the business. However, they do have a business both in Auburn and outside of Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
So before you have a revised disposal.
Mhm.
So they are going to take the trash outside of the town. So as we discussed, if they were to keep it inside town, the trash hauler would have to be a licensed hauler
Yeah.
from town. They take it outside of town, we require the business owner to provide that, which
Mhm.
they have.
Okay.
So the owner of the residence is disposing of the trash at their own personal business outside the town line.
That's correct.
Okay.
We've done something like that before.
Yeah. We have two different addresses here. I have 16 and 18 Silver Street. Which one is it?
Yeah, so
And 30 Silver Street.
so there is 30 Silver Street is what we got in for the location of the property for the
Okay.
stop service. Instead of copying the whole thing, I
Yeah.
can have you review it again,
Yeah.
but 30 Silver Street was the
That's the
property
property
in
address.
question.
I have a mailing address at 16 on this sheet, and I have a
Yep.
mail address at 18 on this sheet.
So, I see what you're saying. I don't know
Sorry.
if that's a squiggly
Yeah, I
six,
don't know.
or if that's an 8.
Yeah.
Pretty good like 8 and 6.
Yeah.
I know that there are several parcels next to each other that this business owner owns.
Look at the 8 on there, the 8 on there, the 6. So it's definitely an
Yeah,
18.
yeah.
So I'm just looking. I just want to make sure we're doing before we make an abatement. We have the right address. We're abating the right address and making sure everything's correct.
So what I have here from the original paperwork, I have 18 Silver Street
Okay.
as the place of business,
Okay.
and the disposal for that is 68
Stafford
Stafford.
Street.
So I think that's where the,
Okay. I mean, because
So,
we have
if
three different,
you
we have
follow
16,
it, yep.
18, and 30, so I just want, because location of property, location of, the address over here was 18 for the business, so, all right.
I follow what you're saying.
Yeah, I just want to make sure,
I'm gonna give you the original packet that came in.
Okay. 1630. 1630 there. 30.
I believe the owner owns 16, 18, 30.
Yeah.
all
So my
three
question
parcels.
is, are they looking to get an abatement on just one parcel, correct? Because now this one says 18, okay. Disposal.
You have the new
Yep.
one in your packet. I believe it's an abatement for just one.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we're abating the right property. I want to make sure we do the, if we do the abatement, which one it's going to be, because the request is, so all in all, the location of property that they're looking to have abated is 30. So I'm not really worrying about the 16 and the 18 anymore, because those are mailing addresses, it looks like. All right, so as long as 30 is the one we're looking at, that's,
And that's what I would go back to the original.
okay, yeah, because the location of property is 30. So just the mailing address here said 16 and the other one said 18, so I want to make sure, because that says 18 here. And disposal location 18 there too.
That's the
so-
original stamp.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's fine. We got that one, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fine. 30 Silver Street is all I'm going to worry about.
But
And they are the owners of 30 Silver Street?
yes,
Okay.
that's my understanding.
Okay.
So we have, this would be the information here that was listed.
Yep.
So I think that's in the past, when you have considered these, we go with the actual billing.
The billing number.
Yep,
Okay.
so let me just pull that out as listed.
Did we already abate this, or is this just
It came to us before.
No, it was not abated. That, okay, so granted, this was for stop service.
Mhm.
So I'm glad you picked that up, Steve, because these forms that we're using, I think could be a little clearer. I've noticed myself sometimes looking at them, and I don't think it's as clear as it could be. So one of the things that, that I've spoken with Solid Waste Advisory is to maybe have a little bit clearer forms. So we're going to try to redo some of the forms so that they're a little bit easier to follow. There's a the alternative solid waste disposal form in the original packet, and then this was the abatement
Yeah.
abatement request.
Request.
So I would say you're asking about which bill it's for, this one here.
Yep. Yeah, it's the same number we have, 946. 2016 first.
So stay tuned for on the forms.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any more discussion.
No.
Trying to remember what we talked about in this one. I think this is the one where they got the information, but we didn't have the correct information, so they had to go back and get it, so, okay.
What, did they never officially request the,
They sent in one when they had to send in the other form, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that was this one.
They were disposing of trash in Auburn,
Yeah.
and they needed a licensed hauler.
Hauler, that's correct,
So
yeah.
that's the hauler information.
Yep,
So
so now they have a
when
hauler.
somebody is not licensed, we have to
Mhm.
go through the process of trying to get them licensed, illegal haulers hauling in town.
Yep. Okay. All right. Is there a motion on the table?
motion to close the evidentiary and discussion?
Second motion? Aye.
Aye. I'll just make a motion to grant the requested abatement for alternative trash arrangements.
Bill number 946.
Bill number 946, year 2016.
Okay. I second the motion. When we have a motion, it has been seconded. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Where do you want to go now?
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I have, for this past weekend, actually, kind of a busy weekend, we had, the tree lighting was on Friday. We had at least double the people we had from last year. It went very well. We did a temporary food permit for that event. We also had retired fire chief
Spaghetti dinner.
Roger Bellahumor had a beautiful dinner at the fire station. There was a temporary food permit for that that went very well, and just a beautiful tribute for his service. And then yesterday we had the holiday open house down at the kennel, and again another temporary food permit that was very well attended. We had actually it was several hours, so it went from 11 to 2, I think it was, and we had people from the beginning right till the end. Even after we closed up, we still had some people coming in. So there were tours through the kennel. It was a really nice day, and actually the weather was perfect. So we had a really nice day yesterday. We had well over 100, maybe up to, it was definitely over 100 people easily. So had kind of a busy weekend, all weekend, and everything went very well. We do have Ms. Jacobson will be sending out an invitation, as in years past. They will be having an open house here for employees, boards and committee members, and that is going to take place, I believe it's Thursday the 17th. I think it gave you that before. You will be getting an invitation, I'm sure, sometime soon. So that's going to be Thursday, December 17th, and they typically have it for a couple of hours.
Right around lunchtime, I
Yeah,
think.
like 12 to 2. You can stop in, get a sandwich, cookie, something to.
If I worked closer, I'd make that using my lunch hour, but I work too far away to
Yeah.
be able to make it my lunch hour.
At least, want to extend an
Yeah.
invitation to you. And I think that is the last big thing that we have coming up for temporaries. We're focusing, obviously, our attention, trying to get the renewals done and trying to get as many of the inspections done as possible. We have,
I think we have some temporaries for this weekend too, don't we?
Oh, that's right, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, yes, of course, I apologize, for the holiday craft fair.
Craft fair, yeah. that's what I
So
figured.
we have temporaries, obviously, for that too, so Eileen's, trying to get those squared away for that as well. And we also do have the Maven report from the nurse. So I wanted to just give that to you. Hi, how are you? You looking for which meeting, sir? You can try across the hall.
Not a lot this month.
That's good.
Okay, thank you very much. So for the next meetings, I think we had discussed last time that we were planning on meeting in January.
Yes.
And so we're going to consider changing that time slot to 5:45.
If that works for everybody,
That's fine.
that would be good for me.
Okay, all right. So it looks like the the second Monday is gonna be January 11th. And the 4th is gonna be January 25th. So, do we wanna hold those spots?
Yeah, I would. And
Or
then
do we wanna-
we'll see how stuff goes. If
Yeah, sure.
if it's another, if we don't need to have a meeting, we can cancel one or the other, whatever works for
Okay.
everybody. It is
Especially with the snow.
the snow and holidays and all that stuff. People
Yeah.
be winding down, so.
Does the 11th work for you? Or do you wanna go to the later one?
Too soon to say.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
We're still 34 days out, 33 days out for that, so.
okay, sounds good. Well, we'll hold that spot, and then
Okay,
as we
yeah.
get closer, if
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like it's gonna work, then we'll move it around.
Yeah, send us maybe send us an email the week before Christmas asking if that date still works for everybody.
Okay.
That gives us
Sure.
a little closer. It's 2
Yeah.
weeks out, 3
Yeah.
weeks out.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier.
Okay.
It's gonna be 2016. That's gonna mess me up.
All right, so that's
At least
all I
4
have.
months.
All right.
Do you have anything?
I do not have anything for the meeting.
Okay,
So
I think we're caught up.
I second the motion. How do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Good night.